Let's talk about this today, going deep. Juan Soto. I know he's been in the news a lot lately. We talk about Juan Soto constantly. Is he running hard? Why didn't he catch that ball in the corner? Why didn't he want to be a Yankee? Why is everyone so mean to him? Is this what it's going to be like for 15 years? LOL Mets, I get. Okay, so we're not here to talk about that stuff. What we're talking about is the two times that Juan Soto got traded, once from the Nationals and then once from the San Diego Padres, and how the other sides of those trades have panned out thus far. I think you'll find it pretty interesting. I don't think it's often that trades work out, benefit both sides like these type of trades do, but then we will just have maybe an open conversation a little bit about why these trades even happened in the first place, because I remember being a little bit surprised myself when especially the Yankees one happened. So, first trade. This one happened August 2nd, 2022, if you remember. It was Josh Bell and Juan Soto going from the Nationals to the San Diego Padres, and in return, they received shortstop C.J. Abrams, left-handed pitcher Mackenzie Gore, outfielder James Wood, outfielder Robert Hassel III, right-handed pitcher Harlan Susana, and first baseman Luke Voit. Famously, it was Luke Voit and not Eric Hosmer, because Hosmer basically was like, no, you go. That's mostly what happened. He wouldn't waive his no trade, but it was pretty funny. That's what you have it for. That's the type of thing you do. So how did this trade, at least as of May 25th, yesterday, how has this trade panned out? So it was 6 players for 2. As we know now, the Nationals currently have Josh Bell, but once this happened, this is how it broke down, right? Juan Soto, while he was with the Padres, had a 7 B WAR, which is nice. It was a year and a half with the Padres. Putting up 7 WAR is a very, very good year. That is what you expect, right? That is what Juan Soto is meant to give you. Maybe like he could be like a little bit better. Like 8 WAR would have been probably like peak, but like 7 WAR, that's a really good bat that is helping you right now. And they got it. They were good. They played well. They went all the way to the NLCS his first year. So like I would say, more or less, they got what they were trying to get, especially because he wasn't not crazy expensive because he was on a contract here. And then Josh Bell, who was having a great year, he went to the Padres and only had a half WAR or negative 0.5 WAR. Did not hit well when he was a Padre, but by all accounts, he was playing really well and he should have been. So I liked the trade at the time. However, on the other side, the lasting value that the Nationals are getting is quickly eclipsing the value that the Padres got that year, right? This is the trade-off, and this is it working exactly as intended. So as of right this moment, C.J. Abrams is their starting shortstop. He was an all-star last year, and he has been worth 8.7 B WAR in that same amount of time. So more than Soto. Well, actually, more than Soto, but he had one more year. So we're not counting the Yankees year, so take that with a grain of salt. But he's been very good. Mackenzie Gore has put up a 4.4 B WAR, and he's leading the league. He is an ace, and he's leading the league in strikeouts this year. So they have their starting shortstop, and they have their number 1 pitcher currently right now, the top 2 guys in that list. Let me throw another name out there, James Wood. He is probably going to be the best player out of all of them, and he could have production up there around a Juan Soto on any given year, in my opinion. Now, he's still really young, and he's still yet to show it, but he's been very good since he's been there. Good for 3.2 B WAR by himself. And then Robert Hassel III just debuted. So they have 4 guys from the 6 that are in the big leagues right now with them. That usually is unheard of. Usually you get 2. They have 4. Now, I haven't seen Hassel play yet. I believe he only has like 4 at-bats. But having them up is incredible. Harlan Susana, I don't know if he's hurt or if he's in the minors. So we haven't really seen him, but Luke Voit was worth a negative, or no, Luke Voit is he's either in the minors or out of baseball now. I haven't heard his name in a while, and he has a 0.1 B WAR while he was there too. So that basically this trade equals out this way. Juan Soto and Josh Bell provided 6.5 B WAR for the Padres, and so far these 6 have provided 16.4 B WAR to the Nationals with control of all of them. So all these guys are controllable for like 3 or 4 more years. W. Rizzo and the Nationals, I cheer you. That was a very, very good trade. And I think you got a lot of guys who are going to make you a competitive team, and they're this close to being pretty scary again. So, I'd say right away, Padres won for that first half year. Cool. But since the Nationals are winning this one. So that leads us to the second trade. This is when he went, Juan Soto that is, went from the Padres to the Yankees with Trent Grisham, which Trent Grisham is now creating more value for the Yankees, which is an interesting proposition. In exchange, we had Michael King, Drew Thorpe, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, and Kyle Higashioka go over, okay? So Higgy went there for a year. He became a free agent. He actually played pretty well. Good for a 1.4 B WAR as a Padre. Randy Vasquez is currently with him for the 2.4 B WAR for the Padres. Brito is worth a 0.2. He's thrown some innings. Michael King's a 5.4 B WAR. But the big caveat, the big exciting thing is Drew Thorpe ended up getting flipped for none other than Dylan Cease. So I would say their top two pitchers now in the Padres were acquired because of a trade for Juan Soto. So once again, the value goes to the Padres. So you add in the Padres getting Juan Soto for those 6 WAR and then flipping him again and then getting another 13.7 total WAR. Tip of the cap, bro. Wow, like that's a savvy move. But I will say this, the Yankees, what'd they get? A World Series appearance from Juan Soto for a year with 7.9 B WAR for the Yankees. That is that is an elite season. They got exactly what they wanted. And this year, Trent Grisham's got 1.4 WAR, 1.6 overall, but 1.4 this year, and he's becoming a stud. So the Yankees are winning this one too. Though it's only worth 9.5 B WAR, that's what happens when you get prospects for big leaguers usually. Big leaguers go up, they get the B WAR right away, and then all you got way more minor leaguers, so if you get 4 of them come up, obviously you're gonna get more. But like, this one comes out to 13.7 the Padres have gotten and traded off for 9.5, which is just general value, but then you add in the fact that Juan Soto helped get them to the World Series. They had a chance to win a World Series, which is why they traded for him. So like, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished across the board. You just don't see them like this, but technically in terms of overall value, Padres W. So it's very rare that the prospect side is the one that has the most value in both cases, but Juan Soto seems to be the catalyst. So, do you want your team to get better? You should probably just trade Juan Soto. It's that simple, huh? Now, one question I have, and I'm sure a lot of you had it, is why was Juan Soto traded twice in 2 years? Like, why do you guys think that is? I think it comes down to 2 things. I think we're seeing a little bit of it come out now. There's always mixed reviews on teammates, like people like him being around Juan, honestly. Not mixed, I would say mostly positive, but I think there's times where he's a little like standoffish. I don't know if that has anything to do with wanting to, like San Diego, for example, trading him. Was there too many cooks in the kitchen? Because I think there was too many cooks in the kitchen. It's like putting 5 All-Stars on an NBA team. There's only so many shots you can take, right? Like if you put 5 guys around, 5 All-Stars around Kobe Bryant, suddenly you only have 2 All-Stars and 3 role players because there's not enough shots because Kobe's going to take 70 of them. So I felt like that's what was going on. Remember, they wildly underperformed Soto's full year there, and then at the end of the year, they rattle off like 14 to 15 wins or something to get like really close to the playoffs but not quite make it. I think him, Manny, Tatis, and Bogarts was just too much, in my opinion. That's just me anecdotally guessing. But what I think it was most likely happening was he's not on a long-term contract and he's the greatest player ever. They can get a huge haul. Not the greatest player ever, sorry. He's one of the best players of our generation right now, and he's very young and very good and impact immediately. So there's value out the yang for that, and I think they traded him because, I don't know, they could get 5 guys for him both times. That's probably mostly what it was. They're like, hey, he's peaked. He's peaked, and we're not going to re-sign him, so let's trade him. So I'm not going to go out here and say there's personality problems or something, But there was probably elements of that. It didn't click. It wasn't super. It was one of those things like, we got to get this done because this is a perfect situation. Probably not. And that just made it easier to do the trade. But I think that it's just because capitalizing on those trades was perfect timing. It's like the opposite of trying to trade for Paul Skeens right now. It's just not the right time. It was the right time for Juan Soto. So we'll see. So we'll see. AK, for example, says he doesn't like not being the biggest name. And I'm going to click on this, actually. There's a comment right here. He doesn't like not being the biggest name in the room. I think there's something there. Now, I don't know. I don't think that's all the time, but I think there's something there. There's a little bit of like confidence. I mean, you don't do the shuffle and stuff if you don't have that ego a little bit. Which also makes him good. So it's a trade-off. You just got to keep it kind of balanced. And unfortunately, if you have if you have ego, you have to perform all the time. That's why I tried not to have any outward ego and just make fun of myself constantly, so that way, if things went bad, then I could just laugh it off because it's a defense mechanism. So anyway, Juan Soto. If you want to be better, if you want your team to be better, get Juan Soto and then trade.